Hi class, let me just take you through our week one, lesson one of week one. And before you do that, let me just take you also through some of the objectives that you as a trainee should be able to achieve. In each and every lesson, of course, it is important to note that at the end of that lesson, the biggest question you need to be asking yourself is, what should I achieve at the end of it all? So basically at the end of this topic, that is Introduction to Computing, you as a trainee should be able to know the meaning of computer applications, get to know and explain some of the software concepts. You should be able to describe the various types of softwares and state the application areas of various softwares. And so direct to our today's lesson, that is on the Introduction to Computing. We have the definition of what ICT is, and when you talk of ICT, basically referring to the acronym first stands for Information and Communication Technology. This is the general term that is basically used for describing the use of the digital technology to access, to store, and process the various information into an organized and understandable form. When you talk of ICT, you're basically referring virtually to every device or computer program that is used to create, that is used for storing, that is used to that uses digital information, and that can be considered as part of an ICT system. This basically ranges from the laptops, the smartphones, all the way to the large networks and infrastructure that basically supports the various businesses and large organizations. When you talk of ICT, it is important to get to know that it's basically used to radically transform the people's lives at home, in educational areas, and even at work. Some of the key services of ICT includes the internet service. ICT also offers the mobile technology and the various office productivity applications. Under the internet services, we have got the online banking. People nowadays are able to do the banking online without necessarily having to walk into a banking hall. The online shopping, we have got the email, sharing of documentation, are all facilitated by the internet technology. You that is basically doing the online classes, of course, you're aware that it is through the internet connection, rather the internet services that you get. That's where you're able to access this. Without the internet, you'll not be able to access your online classes. Under the mobile technology, here we are talking about the mobile devices such as the smartphones and tablets, which basically supports internet access in a wide range of environments. The office productivity applications. These are basically software applications such as the Microsoft Word that falls under the word processing, Microsoft Excel, which is a spreadsheet application, Microsoft PowerPoint for purposes of presentation, and databases, that is Microsoft Access. The email systems and graphic programs. These are all used by many businesses to carry out important tasks efficiently. About the hardware, the main types of computers and devices. We talk about the hardware, we basically refer to the physical parts of a computer and devices such as the mouse, the monitor, the keyboard, the system unit, and speakers. These are physical and tangible objects. A nice diagram there, basically showing most of these components. And so for you that have of course seen a desktop computer, you can be able to see that this is a whole diagram that has been labeled: keyboard, the mouse, the microphone, the speakers, the monitor, the screen, the system unit, all that is there for you to see. Two of the most popular types of personal computing devices are the desktop computer and the laptop computer. Smaller, cheaper versions of laptops are also known as notebooks. I hope you're aware that some of us maybe do not use these very large desktops, large laptop computers, but There are some of us that use those very small ones. We basically refer them to as notebooks. Of course, some of the features for it is that you find them even in the shops. You go to the computing, some of these computer vendors, people who sell computer accessories, they're not as expensive as these larger computers. They're much smaller. They're cheaper, basically, as compared to the others. They basically allow users to connect to the internet and be able to access some of the basic services on online. But of course, they're gaining a lot of popularity. And what you have today, what is gaining popularity today is what they call the tablet, which are also small again and usually feature, they have got the touch screen. And of course, other device that you also have is what you call, refer to as the smartphones. There's a nice diagram there basically showing you, or rather labeled, there's the laptop, the smartphone, the tablet, and the desktop computer. Under the definition of what a desktop computer is, we should be able to understand the key differences between the desktop and the laptop computer. When you talk of a desktop computer, basically referring to a computer that is designed to stay in one single location, unlike a laptop computer that is mobile, that you can be able to use. They're portable basically. If I want to go for a meeting, I can carry my laptop computer, go with it and come back. Because one, they normally have internal battery that is chargeable. So once I've charged it and it is full, I can be able to use it comfortably. There's also the tablet and the smartphone. And even the media player, what we used to call as the iPod. Normally designed for playing games and even watching some of the video clips. You have got the processor, the RAM and the storage. All the definitions are all here. Most of it has the images like the processor. There's an image of a processor there, the random access memory, and even the storage. This is very, very good for us. If we go back again to that week one, we're able to see on lesson 2 some of the functions of the computer and its application area. So if I get to click on that, I should be able to see some of the functions of ICT within an organization and what it does, the advantages of the computer, and even the disadvantages. They are all here with us. I want you to try and read through and get to understand that you also have got what we call the characteristics of the computer. That is on the speed, the accuracy, the storage, the diligence, the versatility, power of remembering. Computers do not have no IQ. These are important for you to know some of the features. In an exam, somebody may simply ask you to mention a few features or other characteristics of a computer, and they are all listed here for you to read and understand. Thank you for this lesson, and I hope you've enjoyed. We meet in our next lesson. Thank you.